Turns out I don't know how to use a computer or a camera. I'm just going to move this, actually, so I don't do that again. I stopped the video recording. I apologize. It'll be a two-parter. Kiev. Every time I think of that, I just think of chicken Kievs. Do you think they were made there randomly?
Maybe. But then there's things like French fries, which are not from France.
Yeah, I suppose.
French toast, also not from France.
Where is French toast from?
Like the States.
I don't know.
It's just like French fries are like American.
And then chips and...
But then there's like...
And crisps.
But then, like, do people in France call them French fries? Especially because they weren't actually made there. Especially because, like, Canadian bacon... We don't call it Canadian bacon, we just call it back bacon. Only people in the States call it a Canadian bacon.
We're stopping over in Kiev. I'm staying in the airport. And then we go down to Athens, which is infinitely more friendly, if still in a bit of turmoil. And we get to... My mother gets to live vicariously through me, potentially.
Possibly. Santorini.
If we go to Santorini, which admittedly would be nice, and I would like to go. But I'm traveling with my brother and time. And since apparently you can fly out there in helicopters, I'm just going by word of mouth. I haven't actually looked into this. I only have so many funds to spare and expend.
A helicopter would be expensive.
It would. Though, you know, that's what credit cards are for. I'm going to be in so much debt by the end of this. It's going to be glorious.
Fun!
Because, you know, student loans, I haven't put enough of a damper on that. And then from Athens, we fly over for $50 to Rome, which is pretty awesome. And then we're going to start using our glorious, glorious Eurorail pass. And we will spend the next month touring through Italy over to Austria, where I get to finally see the Spanish riding school, and you have no idea how exactly excited I am about that, because I've heard about the Lib Centers when I was like 12, and that was over a decade ago, and I really, really, really want to see them. So I finally get to. I hope. I pray. Here's hoping. And Dan will go see Mozart's birthplace in Salzburg, because he's a classical musical nut. Mm-hmm. And, you know, brilliant and very, very talented at musical things. And I'll probably just go along and take pictures of more buildings, because that seems to be most of what I'm going to be doing. Buildings. Because they're pretty in architecture, and I don't actually study that at all. But history is nice, and I did study that for a few years. You know, just like 8 or so. And then from Austria, we're going to visit Prague for a day or two and take more pictures of pretty buildings. And I need to talk to her sister about that, because she spent a week and a half probably. Yeah. And should have some good ideas about what to do and what to see and where to go. Mm-hmm. And then we go over to Germany, and we go visit the university that Dan is interested in with biomedical engineering, for which he's trying to learn German and having a hell of a time learning it. It's actually quite interesting to listen to his efforts. Probably not as interesting as me trying to learn Gaelic, but Gaelic vowels just make no sense whatsoever. At least German makes a bit of sense. So from
Germany,
from Lübeck. From Lübeck, we go visit Dachau at one point, and which I'm excited for. I originally wanted to go to Auschwitz, but that was over in Poland and a bit out of the way. And Dachau is number 2 of the top 3 list, so no, not a bad second
compromise.
Compromise. Let's go with compromise. Second place sounds terrible. We're competing for the worst. Poor taste. It's my friend. Anyhow, and then we go to visit Neuschwanstein Castle. And for those of you who don't know what Neuschwanstein Castle is, I'm sure you've heard of Disney and Disney's castle on the thing in the opening credits, and Cinderella's, well, it's called Cinderella's Castle. It is based off this castle, and it is glorious, and I will do an entire video about the history of Neuschwanstein Castle at a later date, but oh dear God, I am so excited for this. Possibly more than the Spanish riding school? Maybe. It's about equal. It's about equal. I haven't wanted to see it for as long, but I've wanted to see it for about 8 years, which is a decent amount of time. So I can go see it. I'm so And then from there we go down, and then we go visit family, because we do actually have family in Germany, which I just learned last summer at my grandmother's 85th birthday. And she lives near the Black Forest, so I get to go see the Black Forest, which I'm also very excited about, and yay! So we get to stay with them and meet some new family. And definitely trying some German beer while I'm there, because as it happens, I'm not really a beer person.
You have to try German beer.
I kind of hate beer.
It's German beer.
But I will do my best.
She might like Roma a little bit more. The wine country rather than the beer country.
I'm learning to like wine. And those of you who come to our wine nights, you know that. I'm starting to find some wines that I like, but it's still a work in progress.
I have one that I kind of like.
Which is big, because this girl does not drink alcohol. It makes her sick.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
the one
impressive.
that you probably like too. The one from the Vin Room. Remember what we had?
Oh, yeah. That was a dessert wine. That's kind of...
It's still wine. It counts.
Yeah, but it's inordinately sweet and delicious.
Exactly.
But, yes. Anyways, back
to the trip.
Germany. Yes.
No, we were in Black Forest.
And from there, I plan on having Black Forest cake, because that is my favorite cake in the entire world. So planning on doing that, and then taking...
I like German chocolate cake. I just don't like cherries that are not like fresh cherries. So that ruins that cake for me.
I'm allergic to cherries if they're fresh, so it's perfect for me. And then we're going to spend a day in Zurich and get some Swiss chocolate, because what else would you do other than get, a Swiss watch? But,
which wristwatch is the Swiss wristwatch?
I can't even say that.
It's a tongue twister.
Yeah, can't say it. And then we're going to go down into France, and probably into the south of France and Marseille. And I just worked this out with Em about like an hour ago, because Anne's off in Japan looking at foxes in Fox Village and the cherry blossoms up in Sedai.
Giving like 200 pictures of foxes.
They are adorable.
But 200 might be too many.
It gets a bit excessive. Some of them look similar. But yeah. But anyway.
Because it's probably the same fox.
So while he's off doing that, I'm planning the rest of our trip. And, if he doesn't like it, then too bad. Exactly. So we're going there and then taking a train up through Bordeaux, yeah. And actually, you know what we should do? And we're probably going to visit some vineyards, because that would be awesome. I'd also like to go to Champagne, which, if you didn't know, is the only place in the world that can legally and actually sell champagne. Anything else that calls itself champagne but is not made/bottled in Champagne is not champagne.
Not really.
So I thought that was an interesting random fact, because you learn a lot of things in World War I history class. If you have Stéphane Gouffremont as a professor, which I did. He's amazing. Anywho, and then we're going to go up to
Mont
Saint-Michel, which I'm also very excited for. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's an island monastery on the northern coast, western half of the northern coast of France, and it's kind of entangled. That little island kingdom kind of looks like that, except it was made in like the 13th century. So it's got a bit more history and a bit more rundown, and I don't think it's still occupied. I don't actually know.
Nothing.
From there, we are going to go to Cayenne, and then on to Paris, and the Palace of Versailles, which I'm excited for, and l'Arc de Triomphe, and the Louvre, and I would really like to go walk. I would like to walk up to the observation tower of level deck of the Eiffel Tower, and then walk down, because
waiting in those lines on the elevator.
That, and also I just think it's a challenge, and I like to take challenges. Don't always get them done, but I like challenges, and I like challenging myself. I just have to be in the right mood for it, and I think traveling to Europe will put me in the right mood for it. So that. And then from there, we're going to go over to, and Juno Beach, obviously, because Canadians represent. Yes. And Vimy Ridge as well. And then, if we can manage it, Amsterdam would be delightful. Yeah. And not just because of drugs. Not actually. Not actually. But, you know, experiences. They happen sometimes. In unexpected ways. And then take the channel over to London and tour all over there. And I think this video has gone on long enough. So
Wales and Scotland, Ireland, and home.
Yes, flying home from Ireland in the middle of July, early to mid, July 12th. It's kind of middle of July. And on that note, this is Chris and Em signing off.
Bye.